Welcome back, friends. Today, in this video, we're going to find out how to rebuild a C3 headlight door mechanism and maybe learn some other facts. Welcome back. So I'm inside today because it's a rainy day in February. We're having that storm, so I thought, what a great opportunity to rebuild some headlight cover mechanisms. I'm going to show you what it looks like built. I just built this one, and I'm going to show you all the parts you need and then where things go. We've got the manual down here. Kind of helpful. But there's some videos too that people have made showing them. I took some screenshots from those, and I want to thank everybody who has done videos on these, and I have some tips that I learned from the community, so awesome. All right, so here's what the completed one looks like. The main features are we've got this mechanism that closes. That's the closed position. I'll go through all the parts, but here's what it looks like. Let me just give you the little tour in case you want to screenshot this. I'm going to give you the look that I wish I had when I was making this. And I did do a couple things differently than stock, like I put in these pins, thanks to Luis at 76 Vet channel for that tip. So that's what that looks like. This is upside down, of course. Well, I can flip it over. I don't want to damage anything because I got one hand here to work with, but that's right. That's what we're talking about. That would be down, and then can I just push it up? Yes. All right. So this, and then that's up, obviously. All right. So so that's the completed one. What do you need to do the job? Let's start with the components. Obviously, you need the metal frame, and this is not completely taken apart. You can see there's these two braces and also this centerpiece I left in, but those may be also disassembled, and they have bolts that go in. Both sides get these. This is the bushing, and sorry if I don't know all the correct names for everything. So these go up here. Actually, this goes, yeah, this way, like that. And it's held in by these nuts. And then this goes on the arm there. And you use that to adjust the horizontal movement, keep it from moving horizontally, the lid. Then we have this, which is kind of the center mechanism that connects everything. We've got the springs, 4 springs, 2 high tension springs, 2 medium springs, 2 short, 2 long. They're actually almost the same length. But we've got the springs, we've got pins, 3 different pins, and I generally put the sleeves or the bushing. These are nylon bushings. I bought the rebuild kit from, I think, Corvette Central. You can buy these rebuild kits and you get these bushings. Also, this one gets bushings that go in there. You can see pretty easy how they go together. There's a bushing that goes around this. And okay, so the thing with these, and I'll just tell you right now, this one gets a bushing, and it's okay in length because put that over, you still can get to the hole, right? Put your cotter pin or clevis pin in there. This one I found I needed to cut, and I'll show you that in a second. This one ends up going through this, which there's a bushing that I already put in there, that little guy, see? And so this one ends up going through here, like that. And then that runs in here. So there's bushings in this piece. You can just shove them in there. And then there's bushings over here. And now, of course, this is the actuator, the vacuum actuator. By the way, on the back of this, you'll see there's a little notch. That's where this goes. I'll show you on the completed one. And also on the back, you'll notice that these vacuum tubes are angled. Now, I noticed, and I'm not 100% sure about this, but I'm pretty sure that when this is put together, and this is back there, it points towards the side with the notch in it, right? Not the hole, the one with the notch. What else? I have a couple pins. Like I said, I'm not using cotter pins entirely. I'm using these pins. And this is what I'm really excited about. I'll show you that in a second. And then you might want to have some washers. Tool-wise, 1/8 inch Allen wrench. That's for these. That's an 1/8 to adjust that. Probably some needle nose. I've got a little bit of synthetic lube. You want to use synthetic. Do not use oil-based lubricants on any plastic parts. So synthetic, and then I've got a 1/2 inch socket. You can use a wrench like this. That's for these. And then you might want to have an adjustable crescent wrench for this guy. And I don't know, that looks like, what is that, like 3/4 maybe, 7/8, maybe 1 inch, I don't know. But whatever it is, you can get put a wrench on it if you know the size. I don't know off the top of my head. Let me show you guys back here. So this is what I was talking about. So this is mounted, and this would be under the car. And this is what you can see when you open the hood, and then it's pointing out to the outside of the car. Right, this is on the outside. So this is the driver side headlight. Let me flip it over and just give you the tour of what it looks like together. Okay, so let's go back in here. You can see how that goes. I'm using these clevis pins, and it just makes it easy. I did put a washer here. You could use a nylon washer. I just use like a grade 8 washer, and that makes it pretty easy to do that. This one also, I used a clevis pin. That's the shorter pin, and that gets a full length sleeve. Now this one, just want to show you, this is the longest pin, but the kit I got comes with 2 of these. And so I trimmed it down to be about like that. So you trim it. And then I did use a cotter pin on that side and a washer. And then that's the sleeve. And the sleeve goes in and it ends, it ends right there. And then I put the washer. So that's what I did. I don't know if that is completely kosher, but that's what I did. Also, I want to show you something about these nuts. Oops. These nuts. That's kind of cool. So you'll notice these, and originally the nuts they had on here were just the nuts that come with the flanges, right? But when you tighten those down, it's going to rub a lot, right? It's going to rub right on that. There's no washer. It's just a nut. That's stock. So I thought, well, that's kind of problematic. I don't want it just grinding on these things. So I got these. Check this out. If I can do it with one hand. Let's see how nimble I am. Look at that. So these have spinning lock washers. Pretty cool. So that's something I did that's not factory, but I like them because you could put them on and then you tighten them and it's just going straight down and it's rotating on the washer and it makes it really smooth and easy. Plus it looks kind of spiffy, I think. Okay, so that's really the only info I have for you. I put a little bit of this lubricant on some of the parts. I don't think these need to be lubricated, but it doesn't hurt to put a little. I wouldn't put a lot because the thing is the lubrication stuff, it does attract dirt and it can make it actually more gummy. So ideally, I would say actually maybe like a little graphite would be the best. But use some lubricant if you want, or don't use any. I did put, and this is just me again, I'm not saying you should do this, but I put some anti-seize in here. I guess I did that a while back just as a precaution lubricant, just to keep it all, mainly to keep the rust off of things and keep the rust out. These are new. These are new. Springs are new, but then I'm reusing as much of these as possible, all the pins. I did have to get one pin because one was missing. I went ahead and just bought these. Sorry. I went ahead and bought these new. You can rebuild them if you want, but on mine, when I took it off, one of these broke off. I just couldn't get it off without it. It just broke. So I just decided to replace these. Plus, you know, these get all crappy looking, and I kind of like the original look. All right. So one more thing. This piece is the stopper. It stops the door when it goes up, and this actually attaches to the lid here on the side. And when it opens, I still have to buy the actual rubber. There's a piece that screws in here. It's like a bolt, but they make some with rubber that hits here. So I still need to get that. I don't have that piece, but it ends up hitting here. As you can see, it's pretty close, and this is in the up position. So that is one piece that's not on here. And then later, after I put this other one together, I'm going to, this is in another video though, I got the rebuild headlight adjuster mount kit. So I'll be installing this kit in here and then putting in the headlight, whatever they call these, the bowls, or, you know, whatever that is, dishes and bowls. All right, so these are all reconditioned. These are all original, just repainted, ready to go. But that's a separate video. Okay, so I'm not gonna show me doing all this. I think you guys can see pretty much how it goes together, hopefully. Pretty self-explanatory. Let me give you a picture of the what's in the factory assembly manual, just in case you don't have it. You can screenshot that. And as far as torque, I mean, these bolts that go into the actuators, they're rated at 15 to 22 foot-pounds. I mean, I don't think it's really necessary to get a torque wrench out for those. Just tighten them up. Same with the outside, these bolts that go on the outside here. Just tighten them. I mean, you don't have to torque. If you want, you can. I mean, that's fine, but I don't think it's necessary. So in the book, they show you this picture, and then they show you this one, which is more about the lid. And then, so you can screenshot that if you want. And then they show you this one, which is more, of course, having to do with the headlights and the headlight bezel and that kind of stuff. All right, but that's our next video. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna get this one put together and have a pair of finished lights going in. Oh, by the way, well, I'll make another video when I try to install these. One person recommended taking this lid off to install it in the car. I've got everything out of the car right now, though. I have no radiator, I have nothing in the front of the car. So I might go ahead and try to install this together and see how it goes, and I'll let you guys know, you know, if that's a good idea or not. And of course I'll tape everything off and protect everything, but I'm just gonna try to install it complete first. And if that's a problem, take this off. It's pretty easy. You just take this, nut out or bolt, And then you have to remove these each side. All right, but that's it. So it's really just 3 points, and you can take this guy out. Okay, thanks for watching. See you later.